Ooh, I guess we're good to go then. Hello and welcome to Cookwood. Flotilla! I failed it straight out of the gate, that's great. Hello and welcome to Flotilla update number 53. We're here to show you some of the new and shiny things that we've been working on over the past few weeks, and in fact that Sandy's been working on as well since he joined us.
So we'll have a look at the new version of Rockpool that Phil's been building. Then I'll show you the cookbook website, which is going to have tutorials for the different cookbook recipes. It's going to have getting started guides, so getting started with the Flotilla installation itself.
This is basically the hub of all the documentation, isn't it?
For Flotilla,
one place to go to get started.
And it's also going to have like a getting started with Rockpool, and also with the Python API as well. And then finally we'll have a look at some of the recipes that Phil's built, and show you how much fun they are
by utterly failing miserably at all of them. Yeah.
So shall we have a look at Rockpool?
Yep, let's go for it. And let's get this right. And that button did nothing because I haven't got the Phoenix window focus. Good job, Phil. Okay, so here we're looking at the first screen that you'll see when you load up Rockpool. So Rockpool, the new version, which we've up to this point codenamed Shipshape, is actually now live at flotilla.la/Rockpool, because we want to move forward, we want to get everyone updated to the latest software and start to roll out the new and shiny. So you'll see this screen, and it will also detect your dock. In this case, I've actually got the dock connected to our tablet and running with the Windows software, so it's found it locally. If your dock has a name, you'll see the name of your dock instead of unnamed, and as part of our setup scripts we're going to work on prompting you for the name of your dock, so you can give it a unique name and you can tell it apart when you've got more than one dock in a place. You will fire up by clicking the dock, and ta-da! Apparently we're awesome. What's that wearable on wrist, if you don't mind me asking? Totally tangential to the thing, but Nike Fuel Band and an Archon Touch. What's he doing? Oh, God.
That's better.
Here we go. Nike Fuel Band, Archon Touch. I've actually got a video review of this, but never mind. We're back to the point. Okay, so now we've got window inception. We haven't messed it up, which is good job, Sandy. You nailed it. We can go back to the task at hand. So Rockpool has been, I think we've mentioned this before in a video update, or an update at least, we've completely redesigned the UI because we want to make it much more approachable and self-explanatory, because the idea of Rockpool is that you'll pick it up and you'll just plug stuff together and play with it, and like Lego, the Lego of electronics, you'll just connect things together, you'll add converters and inputs and outputs, and you'll stumble across stuff that works and is good. This is something that Sandy did when he was writing tutorials. He came up with something we'll show you now, which is a flickering candle, which is a very simple use of generative inputs or virtual inputs in Rockpool, outputting to a physical device to make your something that's actually practically useful, like in a setup or something.
Yeah, so it was really to show the so the actual getting started with Rockpool guide goes through inputs, so things like sliders, dials, joysticks, the touch module. We've got a box of Flotilla stuff here.
I need to hold it the right side to see. This is totally awkward. Inputs.
So it goes through the actual kind of input modules, so the physical modules. It also goes through the virtual modules, so things like percentages, random, keyboards.
The kind of stuff that you both expands your horizons a little bit. The kind of stuff you'd use in real programming as well.
So
let's have a look.
Let's just have a look at what those are. So you've got. Let's get this right. There. You have.
You can't point at a virtual screen.
I can't.
Your finger will go behind it. No, you're breaking the fourth wall.
So we have values, time, random, waves, sine waves, square waves, keyboard. I'm going the wrong way. variables, and also if you have it connected to something like a tablet or an iPhone or something like that, then you can also access the accelerometer in that device and use that as an input. So
tilt is something that I've very staunchly left in because I love it so very much.
Yeah, it's
even
very
though
cool.
It's controversial because there's a tilt module that you can plug in, so having a tilt virtual input is a little bit confusing, but I like it so much.
And then obviously we've got the modifiers, which can be various different things. So in this example with the flickering candle, we've got the difference
and smooth.
Difference modulator and the smooth modulator. So Phil, do you want to load up that example?
Look, we've got here's one we loaded previously. So we've actually turned this example off. We'll fire it up and it should just start immediately playing on this light here. Trying to press with two fingers at once. This is not a multi-touch tablet. Oh, it's really hard to see on camera, but the light is
actually I'll get the lights.
Let me just try not to turn off everything in the room. Oh, we go. Yay!
Yeah, so I kind of I guess I kind of stumbled across this, but it's actually a really good example of how you can use all of the different things like the virtual inputs and the modifiers.
Right, there might be children watching this.
To make something that's actually quite a kind of complex thing. And it's actually really realistic. It really does look like an actual candle. And I guess if it was Halloween, you could stick it inside a pumpkin and have your own.
It's very cool. I mean, you can see on my
lantern.
hand if you imagine this being a pumpkin, and I can make some eyes. La, 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 la. Perfect. Oh wow, that's bright. I'm blind. So this is a good example of just explorative play with Rockpool, where you put together a few things, you connect it up to output, and you just see what becomes of it. You see what happens.
Yeah.
And I was surprised in the kind of early days of it. I was surprised even myself with the stuff that you could do just by kind of twisting around the system and connecting things together.
Yeah.
And it's fun to play with.
Do you want to show the load and save functionality as well?
Yeah, load and save functionality has been something I've wanted to get working nicely for a while. So we've tidied the interface up and cleaned that up before putting it live. So we've got a project like this. One of the things that you really want to be able to do is save it. At the moment this saves to browser local storage, which basically means that when you save this, it saves into a place reserved by your web browser.
So that's like
saving
a
stuff.
Cookie, isn't it?
It's effectively like a cookie, yeah, but it's a different concept. Just to be super confusing, it's a different concept for cookies, like for storing larger things. One of the things I'm going to still add is the actual ability to download a save file onto your computer, so you can share it on the internet, or you can save it for later and load it in, and hopefully ultimately have it convert into Python, which is something we'll want to look at some point in the future. So we save the Flotilla project, and now when you go to load, you can actually see our project, Flotilla project, and of course you can't see my finger, but I can do this kind of pointy thing.
Yeah.
You can see our Flotilla project at the back, and you'll also see drag and drop save file here in a box at the top of the loader pool. And if you drag and drop a special save file in there, then it will load the save file. So when we create cookbook recipes and stuff, we can have at the very bottom, if you can't be bothered to do all this stuff manually, then just download the save file and load it in, you'll be good to go.
Yep.
And similarly, we should be able to do that with a specially formed URL as well. So we just have a button you click and it will load Rockpool with stuff up and ready to go. So hopefully if we get people the ability to share projects that they've created and improve upon them and share them back, then hopefully more of the explorative stuff will come out in Rockpool.
Yep.
People will really start to use it, which would be cool. What else have we got in?
So let's have a look at the let's have a look at the cookbook website.
Yeah, that's a good way to start. It's not that one.
Wrong tab.
There we go.
Yeah, so this is something that I've been working on. So the idea is that this is going to be the hub for all of the learning materials associated with Flotilla. So there's going to be documentation for the cookbook recipes, which we'll talk about in a few moments. So basically, let's have a look at the balance one. So obviously at the top here you've got the title. You've got some little icons over here that show you what the modules are that this cookbook recipe uses. You've got a list of the materials down here, and then you've got some kind of photos of the bits that you need. For the simple cookbook recipes like this one, it's pretty much just kind of guiding you through plugging in the modules. And then you'll see down at the bottom it has a bit of information about if you don't have your dock set up already, then you can go to the Getting Started guide for setting up the Flotilla software in the dock. And then it's got a URL for the recipe itself down at the bottom. And then if we just go back to something else that I've added is this bit along the top here where you can pick, if you decide that you want to do a recipe that involves the rainbow module, then you can select that up at the top, and then it'll show you all of the recipes that use that module. And then if you decide you want to do one that uses rainbow and or touch, say, then you can select those two, and it'll show you all of the recipes that use those modules. So the more complex recipes like the noisemaker, so we'll have a look at that one.
It doesn't like you.
Actually, hello. Do that. Oh, why is it not selecting it?
Is it the text?
That's, yeah, Phil's nailed it.
Phil knows the pitfalls of CSS.
Yeah. So this recipe is obviously a bit more complex.
That yellow is so yellow.
So this is the noisemaker, and this one's actually got bits of perspex that you have to screw together and then screw the various different modules onto it. So this tutorial guides you through from the very beginning, kind of attaching the standoffs to the perspex, and then attaching all of the different modules, and then attaching the top plate, and then attaching all of the cables, and then finally taking you to the actual recipe page at the bottom. So we're going to have one of these for each of the different cookbook recipes, and when we add more recipes, so when this launches we're going to have 12 different recipes, but we're obviously going to add to those.
I kind of want to build more explorative stuff.
We've got loads of ideas. I think we want to also do some
shortage of ideas.
Some rock pool recipes as well, so ones that you can actually build yourself. The idea with these cookbook recipes is that they're really simple, and it's basically just plug all of these modules in.
This is the instant gratification jam, isn't it?
Exactly, and then it just all works. So this is like the real kind of beginner stuff. Rock pool's a bit more complex, but still very approachable in the way that it works. And then obviously you've got the Python API if you want to get really kind of dirty with it.
That's the point at which you can create your own games and use joysticks as analog sticks, which is something I'm slowly experimenting with.
Yeah.
Actually, Tingbot worked well with Flotilla as well. I had a little Tingbot setup where I had two sliders to play Pong across them.
Oh, cool.
Which was cool. Very cool.
So this is the Getting Started page. So this is going to have the guides for actually installing the Flotilla software in the dock, and get this right, rock pool, and so that's guiding you through the candle example that we showed. There's also going to be a Python one as well. So I think that's going to be that. So let's have a look at the installation guide. So this is quite dry,
very
let's say.
in-depth,
so it's basically just like
the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really a really thorough guide as to how to actually get everything set up, with lots of pictures to show you what to do. and then a quick test at the end of it to make sure it's all working properly. So this is pretty much done now. We have a couple of
You've gone to Rockpool.
Gone to Rockpool. So we have a couple of the cookbook recipes to finish off. I've got to do the documentation for the fan and the marble maze, and a few photos to take. And then I think the final one that we're going to tackle is the robot one.
I've been looking at some very experimenting stuff with the robot one. I actually wrote a simulator in JavaScript completely of a line following robot, completely with a line that it follows that you have to program it to follow. Because I want to figure out how the fundamentals of how a line following robot works and behaves, and also something that John said was it would be cool if you could have your line following robot follow a real physical line, and then as it follows it, it uses the compass or accelerometer or something to figure out where and when it's turning, how fast it's going, to actually draw the line that it's following on the screen, or at least attempt to. So I've got some logic to at least try and do that. So it's kind of something I want to experiment with. The basic line following robot is going to be the code or the logic that will make it follow a line, and a control panel that shows you the state of the robot. So fairly simple stuff. I mean, for the most part, you'd be putting the robot together, and then you'll run the code, and maybe there'll be some settings that you can change to change the tolerance of line following and experiment with how it will work. But that's a simple start and stuff. And then all this extra complicated stuff that I kind of want to add to it will be
future updates.
Yeah, future updates or stuff will get done if we have the time.
Yep.
What else? I mean, a lot of these are functional, but not looking as great as they could look. So we're quite hung up on making things look super shiny and nice.
But they work really well at the moment. So over the past couple of weeks, we've been playing a lot with these. Testing these. Really in-depth testing. So I think we'll demo a few of them now. So let's have a look at balance. Can we look at
I was going to load up balance. Balance looks super shiny.
This is one that Phil's been working on this week. It's really fun.
Here we go. Right, we're going to need we've got a slider. We're good to go.
Yeah.
I'll let you do this.
I'm not very good at this.
Go!
Yeah. So basically the idea is that you the idea is you don't do that.
So we're still making some tweaks to the scoring and the difficulty of this, because it is immensely tricky straight off the bat, which is it's not very nice. And slightly more on the graphical front as well. Oh god! You cannot recover from that.
So the idea is basically you have to keep this hedgehog balanced on top of the bubble. There's also winds that you have to take into account, so you can see.
It's about as difficult as balancing on top of a real bubble while floating through the air, with nothing but a broom handle to hold.
Oh, get back! Oh god!
You can't basically overbalance
at all.
As soon as you lost it, you've lost it. I need to change it a bit. We're still tweaking the difficulty. Like the wind will help you sometimes, but it'll be against you at other times.
See, Phil's much better than I am.
I was going to say, oh no, there we go.
My excuse is that Phil wrote this. So
I know how to game the system. I know what to expect. It is technically a pseudo-random number generator, so you might be able to predict the wind changes.
Yes,
the wind. Basically what needs to happen is the more you win and the better you get, the wind needs to slowly grow in intensity as the game goes along to try and throw you off. Yep. It needs to start nice and easy. And the balance between the hedgehog falling off the edge of the ball and your ability to recover from it needs to be tweaked as well. There's all sorts of maths involved in this. So it takes a fine balance. What is going on? The bubble is bouncing like crazy and I've fallen off again.
Yeah.
So at the moment, a little bit on the difficult side, but we'll see.
Shall we have a look at the bat and ball example?
Yeah, we can have a bit of battle. Is it 2-player? Did I leave it in 2-player mode, or did I turn it back to 1? I can't even remember now. Suffice to say, it should work with both bat and ball. So you can see all these recipes are actually at flotilla.la/cookbook/recipe name. But these are currently live. They're still in development. But
oh yeah. So
that I'm not controlling this off. It's
so this is me. So you may recognise this game.
Yes, it's Bat and
it may go by another name.
Ball and Bat. Virtua Tennis.
Yeah, there we go. Whoa. So this is Phil's actually added the ability in this to impart spin on the ball as you release it.
It's a completely silly idea, but everyone seems to like it.
So if you move the bat as you hit it, you can actually.
This is why it's silly.
You can actually add like really huge amounts of spin. There must have been so much spin on that's not disappeared yet. You can see it's gradually.
It is
gradually disappearing. There we go.
And then it's just gone ballistic towards it. There's definitely still some tweaks to be made to this. Most of all is the detecting a second control input and switching into 2-player mode if you plug another slider or dial in, which is the first thing to do, and tweaking the spin physics a little bit, because at the moment if you impart spin on a ball it will keep spinning, and as it slows down the spin won't slow accordingly, so as it slows down it just starts to turn in a very tight arc, which is not similar to how a tennis ball might spin in real life, because the spin tends to slow down at the same rate as the velocity, I think. But yeah, this is getting a little dangerously entangled with physics now. It's been a long time.
I'm just going to carry on playing till I'm winning. There we go. Yeah.
You should be able to win. The computer is not very clever.
There we go. That's that one done. Yeah.
Let's
Let's
get Virtual Pet up, because that's new as well. We might as well have a look at it.
Yeah. Go for it.
It's new and it works and it's cute. And amazing how complicated writing a virtual pet is, because you get all these interdependent factors that you then have to worry about. Still working on honing the algorithm, because I keep leaving the poor thing running on my computer and coming back to him crying and being old and starving, and there's poop everywhere. So Virtual Pet is kind of a modern day version. Why did you go and do that? It's kind of a modern day version of the Tamagotchi, and you have to take care of him in a similar way. He is trying to he's throwing me off my game here. You have to take care of him in a similar way. Instead of accept the buttons that you get on a Tamagotchi, you actually have to use a physical input to do something on screen. So if, for example, he's gone to the toilet and made a horrible mess, you need to clean him up. So you take a slider and act like a scrubbing brush, and we'll scrub away. Oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? Scrub it up. What we seem to have here is a failure to scrubbinate. I don't know why either. As you can tell, these are still very beta. So, what should happen?
Will we refresh it?
Yeah, give it a go. I've obviously messed something up very recently. It could well be that it's connecting. No, it's got the slider there, dial and rainbow, so it knows that those are connected. So the things you'll do, you either use a slider to clean your pet, you'll use the colour sensor to, actually that will be why it's not working.
Yeah.
Use me a colour sensor.
Here we go.
Yay! One colour sensor, stats! Oh, you've got it on the thing already. That should. There we go. Yeah, this is. I've realised what the bug is now. The virtual pet code is there, and the interfacing of Flotilla code is there, and the two things don't talk to each other very much. No, he's not doing anything now. He's stopped. He's looking at you, Sandy. What's he doing? He's staring you down. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Love how he maintains eye contact.
It's almost like a real child.
It really is.
That's what my daughter does when she's doing that.
Just stops and goes very quiet all of a sudden, yeah. So now, when we take the slider and scrub... Yay! The system works. So what we failed to do there is plug in the colour sensor. At the moment it doesn't say, oh, you haven't plugged these things in. It should just start running and just work with whatever you've got plugged in. Do you think you're managing to feed him? I still haven't increased the tolerance on the feed. But what will happen is you can either feed him, at the moment, an orange or a banana. And you'll do this by taking a physical orange and putting it on top of the colour sensor. And it will detect the orange colour. And theoretically it will go, you've placed an orange on the colour sensor, and then feed the pet an orange. So if the pet is currently hungry for an orange, he'll gain some extra hunger, he'll gain less hunger and gain extra health and stuff. If he's not currently hungry, then it's classed as a snack and will give him some happiness. Yep. At the moment he seems very, very sad.
I think this isn't quite the right shade of yellow, so let's try this.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like someone's sawing part of the building off.
Yeah. It's a common occurrence here. Yeah. I think the crucial thing that we forgot was an actual banana.
Yeah. We seem to have run out of bananas because I had a banana on my desk for testing, but I ate it, which is a bad idea. This is the trouble with testing with fruit. It's
let's try something orange, see if that works.
Oh. I don't think so. Could always do the how do I right click on this? Oh, there we go. This is all implemented in JavaScript, so you can actually just go in here, get rid of the keyboard. Oh, go away. New mode, sad. And you go in here and just go feed. No, he's not hungry anymore.
Yeah, so that's
what else have we got?
well, we have a look at rocket landing. That's really good.
I've noticed that rocket landing on here seems to be much more difficult than I remember it. It might be because I'm horribly out of practice, but again, the difficulty level needs to go down a little bit. So Flotilla controls make really good inputs because they're a lot more kind of suited for what you're doing. So when you have thrust on your rocket, you've got a slider, which makes a lot of sense because it's like a throttle on an aeroplane or something to that effect. And then you've got your joystick for your attitude jet control. The trouble is that these are not the controls you'd be used to in terms of an Xbox controller or stuff, so it can make it quite a lot more difficult to control. Oh, that just blasted off into space. So the idea of rocket landing, as the name suggests, is to land a rocket. You basically start plummeting down through the atmosphere and you'll slowly gain heat as you fall through the atmosphere and friction with the air happens. And as you gain heat, your rocket overheats and the hull starts to take damage. So you can't just plummet through the atmosphere and be done with it. You will eventually blow up.
And the colour of the rocket changes from white to red depending on how hot it is.
Unfortunately, we started easy and we've got lots of fuel, so we can just take it easy and we can... This is going to go badly wrong, I know. You can take it easy and gently land it. So we're landing on a ship, so you've got one target that you have to very carefully bring yourself towards. Oh! Ah, yes!
Got it.
And for every successful landing, you start with slightly less fuel and slightly less hull until you can't go anymore. And you'll gain more points by doing crazy stunts like yeah, that went well.
So the idea is that you use the slider for the main thruster, and then the joystick
little sideways thrusters.
Left and right controls the thrusters on either side.
I don't know where the boat is yet.
Up.
I think the trick is to cut your thruster really quickly so that you plonk down to the ship, and you might take a little bit of hull damage for that, but generally it's an acceptable loss because otherwise you're going to miss and plonk into the ocean like that. Sink gently down. Go on, give it a go. I've left you in a pretty bad situation.
Yeah. Oh no!
Yeah, don't point the nose down and thrust. It's just... Well, you'll end up in the drink, or even worse, just crashing into the ship and going. You have to be so incredibly gentle with it. I need to tweak the difficulty quite a lot with it. So, as you can see, it's basically exactly like a real rocket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably similar to what would happen if I tried to control an actual rocket.
think human beings are definitely not possessed with the capabilities of maintaining a stable rocket system. That's why we have computers these days that do it for us. You don't get any manual fly-by-wire rockets. Obviously, going up is easy. You just put fins on it.
Oh
and
no!
a big engine. Oh no!
I was
really, really subtle on that thruster.
Here we go. Here we go.
You just got to let it. Oh!
So close.
So close yet so far.
Yeah, so that one's really fun. I think that's our favourite probably. That
Yeah,
one.
it came out quite well.
So it's really good. Will we have a look at the reaction time one?
I think we should,
with?
yeah.
That's quite good fun as well.
Let's see if I can run. Oh, dearie me. Reaction time is a pretty standard.
Do we still need was it a meat? Oh no, it's the rainbow, isn't it? We need as well.
Rainbow.
Let's get the rainbow. Oops. Okay.
There we go. Let's hit a button to start.
I'm just going to put this.
You're going to put the buttons as far away from me as possible.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
Basically dive across the desk to get it.
Right, I'll hold this up with my other hands.
Let's just swap it round to this port so it's not quite so
That's a good idea.
crazy.
Okay,
Sure.
so the idea is you hit the button to start.
That's red.
Oh. And it's red, and then as soon as it goes green, you have to.
I did not win.
I think I actually preempted it there. And, I wasn't paying attention.
How did he win again? Not paying attention.
Right, let's go again.
That time too slow. Too slow.
So you can have up to 4 players as well. You can have anywhere from 1 player to 4.
You basically need very small fingers to get 4 people playing this at the same time. But hey, that's all part of the fun. Everyone trying to fight for their position on the touchboard.
And Phil actually coded this display,
virtual matrix display. Yeah,
in JavaScript, which was quite impressive.
It works, I think, doesn't it? The kind of sports scoreboard thing.
And you can scroll messages on it.
All sorts of random stuff.
Yeah.
Virtual scoreboard.
Yeah, so that's. I think that's pretty much it. I'll put together a bit of a text update as well, and I'll obviously add this video to the update on Kickstarter. And we'll have another update for you next week.
Hopefully with more finalised things, tweaked difficulty levels that won't be so heinously difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe saving. Saving is something that I need to get done, because that will be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Okay. Right. Bye folks.
Bye.
See you next week.
Now I've got to watch me press the stop streaming button. Bye.